During the 1820s and 1830s, entire cities were built around gambling. One of those was Vicksburg, Mississippi, known as the liveliest place in the whole Southwest. Located on the Mississippi River, Vicksburg was a tough, quick-tempered town built on the river trade. Gambling halls, or hells as the moralists referred to them, had made their way into the respectable parts of the community. This brought consternation from the anti-gamblers that were trying to rid themselves of the stigma of frontier incivility.
Along the river, a lot of towns like Vicksburg's developed, which were just filled with these gambling hells. The gamblers would set up shop everywhere and run what were almost universally crooked games.
In 1835, the townspeople devised a plan to expel all gamblers from Vicksburg. Warnings were posted throughout the city, demanding all professional gamblers leave Vicksburg within 24 hours. Most of the gamblers complied. As one witness observed, the majority of the gang, terrified by threats of the citizens, dispersed in different directions without making any opposition. A few gamblers, however, barricaded themselves inside one of the local hells, refusing to leave. The vigilante force made its way through a popular gambling area of Vicksburg called The Landing. They marched from hell to hell and forcefully raided each one. The mob then targeted the gamblers holed up inside the casino. With guns drawn, they charged the betting parlor. After several shots were exchanged, the mob dragged the bettors outside and hung them in the city square. Vicksburg was cleansed. The gamblers would have to look for another venue to ply their trade. They found it, steaming slowly down the Mississippi River. The events in Vicksburg sparked a gambling revolt. Citizens throughout the Mississippi Valley began to band together and reclaim their cities from what they termed the evils of gambling. Gambling was on the run, and so were the gamblers. They headed to the well-established riverboat system along the Mississippi and Ohio rivers, where loose money and a bounty of eager amateur gamblers awaited. The riverboat network was developed to help southern plantation owners ship their cotton and goods to the northern industrial cities. The gamblers, unwelcome at first, eventually found a way to make the right people happy.
The riverboat captains was all against gambling, and they would put gamblers off. When they caught them gambling, they would put them off on an island, strand them, throw them right off. And then finally, some of the gamblers started paying the riverboat captains off. They would give them money to stay on there. And so then they would run their own gambling game all the way, as long as they were paying the captain.
From their exterior, the riverboats were odd-looking contraptions, layered with deck space and topped by billowing smokestacks. In the cargo hold, deckhands and the slaves of the traveling plantation owners would gamble on dice and cards. Upstairs, the white gamblers played in luxurious main salons. The boats lumbered their way up and down the river at a pace that was perfect for the professional gamblers, who used the time to play out their elaborate schemes.
The people they were playing against didn't realize that they were working in teams. They would have different partners. Different people would come and go, but they were all together. They just traveled around in these teams and worked that way and fleeced these people.
Boarding the boats at different stops, the gamblers would pretend not to know each other. With hand signals and body gestures, one gambler would tip off the hand of the unsuspecting prey to his partner seated at the table. Sometimes bartenders and boat personnel were enlisted as accomplices. The professional gambler's bag of tricks contained a formidable arsenal. Cards were routinely marked and shaved to the dealer's advantage. The cheats sometimes went so far as to use crudely designed mechanisms that would produce the desired card with the flick of a lever. On the river, cheating was rampant.